All right, people, welcome back to the Kaiba Show. And the long-awaited Wonder Woman 1984 is now out on HBO Max, streaming and in the theaters. And let's get ready to start the show, people. So let's get it.
Welcome to the Kaiba Show.
All right, people. So Wonder Woman 1984 starring your girl Gal Gadot. We got your boy Chris Pine in here. We got Kristen Wiig. And we got the phenomenal Pedro Pascal in here. And it's directed by, once again, Patty Jenkins. And basically the premise of this movie, the movie takes place in 1984, obviously, in the 80s. And basically Wonder Woman got to stop your boy Max and Cheetah. I don't want to give too much away because, people, this movie's a wild one. I don't even know where to begin. The story wasn't that great, people. The story wasn't that great. I wasn't intrigued whatsoever. The movie was way too long, to be honest with you. What they delivered, if the movie would have been captivating, I would have been fine with the running time. But because by like an hour into the movie, I was just like, yo, when is this movie going to be over? Like, the movie lost me, man. Like, I just was not intrigued. Action. First off, there's an opening sequence where I felt like, not the opening sequence, the opening sequence after the opening sequence, if that makes sense. There's a scene that takes place in a mall where I was like, I don't know, because this movie takes place in the 80s, they're trying to be nostalgic and capture the essence of the 80s cheese with action scenes. But I was just like, man, no. What's your boy Joey from Full House? Cut it out. Like, yo, cut that out. I don't know what they was thinking with this scene. Hopefully you see what I saw when you watch this mall scene. But I just felt like they was trying to, like I said, capture the essence of the cheese factor with the 80s movie. Because let's be honest, some of the 80s movies, when you watch the action sequence now, you know, a lot of that stuff is kind of cheesy. The fight choreography, everything is a little cheesy now. And don't get me wrong, I would have respected if they would have did it in a better way. But it was just like, no, you guys got to stop. We haven't come this far for you guys to go backwards when it comes to fight sequences and stuff like that. So overall, with the action with this movie, I was disappointed big time. This movie did not do it for me with the action whatsoever. Storyline wasn't there. Pedro, he delivered. His character, though, I was just like, what is this? I don't know too much on Wonder Woman, but his character just not do it for me. Acting wise, he did a good job, but the way the character was written didn't do it for me. So that's another negative with the movie. One of the positives with the movie is, once again, Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, their chemistry worked. I love them on screen. So that worked. And Kristen Wiig, her character actually worked too. You know, I believed her as a nerd. Even when she got a little dolled up sexy, she was believable. So I felt like the transitions of her character, I was with it. Another negative with the movie was her character was like a subpar villain, secondary villain. And once again, it's very hard to captivate two villains in a movie equally. One is going to always get a little bit more shiny. You got to be able to do it in the right way. For me, one of the movies that did it like the best way for me was probably Batman Returns. I felt like the way Tim Burton was able to portray Catwoman, she wasn't like a villain, but you get what I'm saying. She was still part of one of the bad guys a little bit. And the way that he captivated Catwoman and the Penguin was very tasteful. They both got their shine. And I just felt like Kristen Wiig's character, the Cheetah, I felt like she was in there because the main villain, there wasn't going to be an epic climactic fight at the end. So I felt like they just threw her in there so that they could have a fight scene at the end of the movie. So I just felt like there was like, either make her villain the main villain, or there was no point to her character, because it just felt like Spider-Man 3. We all know in Spider-Man 3, Sandman was the main villain. But they threw Venom in there just to throw Venom in there. And then you get Venom at the end of the movie. So I just felt like that. Like, you know, we got a couple of scenes with her, you know, here and there throughout the movie. Her as Cheetah wasn't revealed until the end of the movie. Just like how we didn't get Venom into the end of the movie. And I hate when they do that. You do all this build up to only see them in their true form at the end of the movie. And I can't stand that. And I just felt like she was a filler. They just needed this character in here because the main villain wasn't going to be able to deliver an epic fight for Wonder Woman at the end. Other than that, people, was there some nice colors? You know, the way certain things was shot, it was cool. That's another thing. They took some of the elements with the way they shot certain stuff, which kind of threw me off with the first movie, and they just like ran with it. Like there's some running scenes in this movie where it's like, yo, is this not 2019 when you guys was filming this? 2018 to be exact, because I remember when I went to Comic-Con, we met. Well, we didn't meet, but we saw the cast. So this movie has been long overdue. It's been, postponed because of COVID. We was been supposed to get this movie, but I'm just like, dang, yo, the running scenes in this movie was mad cheesy. The way they was shooting the camera angles and the slow-mos, you could just tell that she was like on some wire work or something. It just was not done well. Like, you want to know a good running scene? Watch Underworld. You know, the movie with the vampires and the werewolves. When your boy, what's his name? Is it Lucian, the head wolf dude? When he's running after the car, you really think this dude is running 50 miles an hour. So it's like the way they did it, that it was perfect. They had a freaking thing attached to a car where he was able to run once you get your balance right. So when you run past the camera, it actually looks like you're running 80 miles an hour. This movie looked like she was on some wire work running, and they did close-ups. I was just like, yo, this is some bad camera work. So cinematography, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And I don't know what direction it was trying to go with this movie. Patty Jenkins, it didn't feel like Patty directed this movie. It felt like it was somebody else. I don't know, man. I had hopes for this movie. I just felt like they dropped the ball, and I'm so glad it was on HBO Max and just not in the theaters, because if I would have went to the theaters to go see this, people, I would have been pissed, especially me, because you guys know I like to see my stuff in IMAX. So I would have went at night, saw it at IMAX, paid like $20 a ticket, and I would have been vexed. So I'm so glad it was streaming on HBO Max where I could stay my butt at home, watching it on TV, and not get too mad that I spent all this money to go see it in the theater, because I was highly disappointed with this movie. So with that being said, on a Kaiba scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a 6.5, people. I was disappointed. Like, this movie is okay. Like, I really don't see me watching this movie like that. I'm going to watch the first Wonder Woman because I actually like the first Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman was good. I just felt like the villain's character, the way they wrote it, it wasn't right for this film, man. Pedro did an awesome job, though. He acted good, but the way they wrote the character didn't work. Cheetah needed more. She should have been the main villain. Just make her the villain the whole time. So her and, Gal Gadot could duke it out. They should have did it where, obviously this is something that we've seen before, but have it where they fight in the middle of the movie, Cheetah gets the best of her, and then at the end of the movie, Wonder Woman whoops her tail. Like, so there wasn't like the epic fighting I was expecting from Wonder Woman in this movie, and I was disappointed with that. Storyline wasn't all that. And I can't go into details about what the storyline was because it's going to ruin it. But it's like, really? This is what the villain's doing? I don't know what else to say, people. Kaiba scale, 6.5. Definitely don't go see it in the theater. I don't think it's worth buying on Blu-ray, 4K, none of that jazz. Just, if you got HBO Max, watch it on HBO Max. And just wait for it to come out on TV if you don't got HBO Max. That's all I got to say. So please, let me know what you think. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button after doing that. Hit the bell button so you get notified every time I upload a video. And please, I really want to know what you guys thought of Wonder Woman 1984. If you saw it, leave a comment at the bottom. And as always, hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.